Hi, this is Raman. Welcome to another episode of the 10,000 Trade Show, where we are mastering trading and creating excellence through the deliberate practice and analysis of 10,000 trades. Today, we'll take a look at using our information from oil, looking at what oil is doing and using that information to trade Canadian dollar. So let's go on to the charts and I'll show you what are we looking for in terms of oil and how can we apply that information to trade Canadian dollar profitably. Today we'll take a look at market correlation between USD CAD and oil. So Canadian dollar and oil are positively correlated. That means when oil goes up, Canadian dollar goes up, and when oil drops, Canadian dollar drops. This is because oil is one of the major exports of Canada, so Canadian dollar is tied very closely into the price of oil. Now, when we talk about dollar CAD, Canadian dollar is the second part of the pair. So the base currency here is US dollar. So this relationship gets inverted. So when oil goes up, dollar CAD goes down. And when oil goes down, dollar CAD goes up. So they become inversely correlated. So in this case, we'll take a look at how this relationship shows up on our charts. Here we have the chart of oil. So this is oil 1 hour chart, and this is a US oil. We're not talking about Brent. So in this case, we see that when oil goes up here, we're looking at March 20th. When oil goes up here, let's go to our dollar CAD chart. We see on March 20th here, oil had gone up, but Canadian dollar or dollar CAD dropped because Canadian dollar became more expensive. As a result of that, dollar CAD drops. So we see that when oil goes up, dollar CAD will drop. And then we see on March 21 here, our dollar CAD is going up. When we go to our oil chart, we see that the oil's been going back and forth, and oil is just trading in this range here, weakening and then going up slightly. And on the other hand, dollar CAD starts to rise because our oil is not really doing anything, it's dropping. So as a result, our dollar CAD goes up. Now on March 22nd here, we see that dollar CAD goes up again. So let's take a look at oil. So when we go here to our chart, March 22nd, we see that oil just drops. And as a result, dollar CAD, going back to our chart here, dollar CAD makes another move to the upside. And then it goes into a bit of a range and then drops here on March 25th. So going back to our oil chart here, we notice that on 25th here, price of oil goes up. So when price of our oil wasn't going anywhere, our dollar CAD didn't go anywhere under this chart here, but on the 25th of March here, price of oil went up, and we go to our dollar CAD chart and we see that on the 25th here, our dollar CAD went down. So the relationship that we have here is that oil So the relationship that we have here is that oil and dollar CAD are inversely related, so that when oil goes up, dollar CAD goes down. So if you're looking to trade Canadian dollar or dollar CAD, it's very important to look at what oil is doing. And many times you'll find that they move together. Now, there will be times when that relationship doesn't work too well, and that will be because of US dollar. So in this equation here, we also have US dollar. US dollar is one of the variables or one of the currencies that we are looking at. So when we see that US dollar is strong across the board, so all the dollar crosses are going in the same direction and US dollar is very strong, that can have an impact on dollar CAD as well. So that correlation between oil and dollar CAD may be broken slightly. But generally, we see that when oil moves in a certain direction, Canadian dollar follows in that direction, which means dollar CAD will move in the opposite direction. And this is very important to keep in mind because you will see this relationship play out over and over again. And what that tells us is that if we are going to trade Canadian dollar or dollar CAD, we have to look at oil. So this is how we can use information from one part and use it to make good decisions or better decisions in another part of the market. So we are using commodities to trade Forex, and this is the way we would do it. So if you're going to trade if you're going to trade dollar CAD, then make sure you do pay attention to oil, because you will find that these relationships can really help you in making that decision on when to enter the trade and when to exit the trade and actually profit from this relationship. That's it for today. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I have created a special cheat sheet for price action for you. If you would like to grab a copy of this, make sure you click the link below and subscribe to it. So that's it for today. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel.